Welcome everyone, Christine here with early access of Ultimate General American Revolution, which is in a fairly buggy state right now as a game. Personally, I can't play the campaign because I can't get into any land battles. I can get the naval battles, but I can't fight the land battles, which is a major issue. So I am instead just going to play some of the skirmish battles. I'll start with Camden. Seems like a decent enough starting point for a land battle. Also, these skirmish battles, or at least the multi-phase ones, seem to be kind of bugged as well. Don't know what to say on that subject. Bit weird. Anyway, so the Battle of Camden, which did not play out as you might imagine based on the Patriot in popular discourse. It was happening in forested terrain, probably more heavily forested than this, but still certainly not an open field battle. Anyway, so we got Gates and we've got Cornwallis as well. Though this is not really the historical battle, if you will, of Camden. To begin with, the Americans outnumbered the British, just to give you some context over there. There is some accuracy here though, because I got like the militia on my left side, which is accurate. In the center, we got some Delaware, I think, and then we got Marylanders. Weren't the Marylanders actually in the reserve in the center? I mean, they kind of are, but all the same. So, yeah. But we got militia, so my left wing is probably going to crumble quite easily against Cornwallis's force over there. So here they come. Skirmishers coming in. I need to protect my dragoons. So we got some legions over there. Can't form square formation. Would be pretty sweet considering what we're dealing with over here. Okay, so let's form up. Okay, let's pull the skirmishers back. Okay. Right, let them come. So move some of these brigades over here. Well, brigades, companies. I'm commanding individual companies. It's a general advance. Goal is to capture the middle point. Goal is really to annihilate the enemy army, but yeah, I'll take capturing the point. So I'm gonna do... I think the key to victory, if you're playing the Americans here, because like people are struggling, because yeah, the American militia are crap, the American troops are not as good as the British. Historically, it was a bit more complicated than you might think, historically speaking. But it's obviously not going to work if you like try and launch direct full-on assaults. Like obviously that's just going to be suicide, right? So instead, what I have found is you need to win through flanking your enemy and dealing a lot of damage from range. The way I'd consider it is probably actually similar to what the Union tactics are in American Civil War. Like you can't do full frontal assaults as the Union in Civil War. Instead, you gotta be careful. Alright, they got routed. Don't know by who, but okay. Alright, so... Oh, the dragoons there, probably. Right, Cornwallis. Yeah, this is kind of the problem when you can't select units properly. Alright, so Cornwallis center is about to collapse. Do I want to pressure the center, or do I... Okay, you know what? We're gonna do a bayonet charge. I think a 2-to-1 advantage is like mandatory in a bayonet charge. 3-to-1 would be the ideal situation if you want to rout them. As the Americans, the British are a different kettle of fish, really. They could probably win a 2-to-1 bayonet charge when they're outnumbered 2-to-1, that is. Okay, so dragoons there are breaking. Like, this is the thing. If you allow the British to form a solid battle line and charge you, you're gonna lose. That's, it's not even a question. Okay, so Dragoons have shattered. One unit of enemy Dragoons have been destroyed. There's another one. So Tarletons, Dragoons, Tavingtons, Tarletons. Okay, so seems pretty solid. Like, that's the thing. I have done, like, this is really the situation. I have the numbers. Though, actually, didn't we kind of start like on even freaking numbers playing field, and it's like I'm just annihilating Cornwallis's forces? Well, yeah, it kind of looks like that. Okay, so this is the section of the battlefield that I'm most worried about. So my left is collapsing. My right is winning the battle. That's kind of what happened historically speaking. Okay, things are a bit more even out. Okay, let's send those guys in melee and let's get Cornwallis himself. And we need to hold that center. Well, the militia is collapsing. The goal of victory here, let's get that cannon. Those Fusiliers are breaking apart. Where are these guys anyway? Yeah, US troops. US line troops. Okay. Alright, he secured the surrender there. And we charge with the Dragoons. Cavalry is pretty damn powerful in this game. Oh man, if I tried half the stunts you would try with cavalry in Ultimate General Civil War, yeah. Different era though. Frederick the Great was still alive in this time period, so very different situation. It's kind of crazy to think, like, yeah, it still was muskets and all that, but soon enough they would be fighting with rifles. Alright. In just a couple of years. Right, so Cornwallis's army has collapsed. All but evaporated. Victory is mine. The militia collapsed, but they served their country. The real army survives. Alright, charge these guys with 3 different units. It does feel like fighting the Confederates all over again in a Union campaign, honestly. Because the thing is, like, the Confederates would do something similar to the British in that situation. And yes, I'm just comparing the British with the Confederates, which is pretty unfaltering for the British. Unflattering, rather. But it's kind of like the same thing. Like, the British are really good at melee fights here. And the reason they're good is because they've got the experience on their unit. So they got better morale, better stats, all that. And due to that situation, they can keep up a fight the Americans just can't. Alright, so Dragoons charging in. Damn, those guys are fighting hard. Cornwallis's last hope, I suppose. I mean, the battle is won. I could get to a point where it's like, yeah, this is just pointless. The rest of the army is finished. I did lose quite a few men. Alright, let's try and flank these guys. I do think the pacing of the battles is pretty okay. The land battles. The naval battles, I feel, are a bit too slow. But yeah, certainly the land battle the speed of them is quite fine on a normal speed. And of course I can always do this. I wouldn't recommend it because sometimes you just need that fine control. Like, I wouldn't recommend it unless there's downtime in a battle, which there can be quite a lot of it. Alright, so let's regroup. Because we still got those roaming the dragoons to deal with. And a couple of brigades. Alright, they're shattered, shattered. What do we have here? I keep saying brigades because I'm just so used to Civil War. Alright, let's charge. Hello. So charges tend to be broken. Alright, there we go. When a unit uses the fallback order. Alright. Let's send these guys. I just want to get everyone together so that I stop the bleeding, so to speak, from the cavalry. I still have my own cavalry. So let's send the dragoons. Armand's Legion. Go, go, go. And it's done. Okay. Will they break through? Yep. That's kind of it. Pretty much. There's a couple of British troops, but supplies do get depleted pretty fast. I do notice. Also, a lot of the time the in-game sound doesn't work. I don't know what to tell you about that. I've disabled the music because I've had the issues in Game Labs games with copyright with the music for quite a while. So yeah, now I just wait for the timer to expire. So we captured 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Decent force. Hell, some of these guys are pretty intact actually. 72. Wait, you're looking to escape. Don't even try it. Okay. Parading prisoners of war. Used to happen. Hell, I think it happens even today, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. So yeah, that was the Battle of Camden. What really happened in the battle, well, kind of screw up on Gates's part. So he positioned his army in such a way that he put his left, all the militia on his left. He had a strong reserve, but problem was, given the terrain of the battle, it ended up being a chaotic brawl. His right might have won, but well, the British won. Like, it wasn't even a question of winning. The Americans just broke on the other sides of the battlefield, and ultimately, like, the Americans just ran. A lot of the militia, a lot of the reserves ran. Basically, the American right was the only one standing on the field for the longest possible time, and eventually they just got overwhelmed. Local superiority. Anyway, that was the Battle of Camden. Nice, fun battle. Pretty quick. There are currently a bunch of naval battles as well in the game. So we got the Grand Prize. Ooh, precious cargo. 10 American ships versus 10 British ships. Let's see what... Like, I'm not going to play a naval battle. From what I've seen so far, the naval battles... They're based on Age of Sail, which makes sense. Like, a lot of the entire game is based on Age of Sail, but it does seem, oof, 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 oof. This is basically, yeah, this is basically, holy crap. I'm not sure I want to take that battle. It does seem like a smaller fleet. Yeah, you know, one of the things about the Age of Sail is who shall win the battle shall dominate the seas. What do we got here? So we got, ooh, these are third rates. So we got a bunch of like fourth rates, fifth rates by the looks of it. But mostly like, no, we got third rates and fourth rates. So what do I mean by third rates? There was the rating system in the British naval system, right? And since the British like to talk about themselves, all right. So yeah, we got two balanced fleets heading towards each other. The wind is favoring me as long as I stay there. And it does seem like the British fleet. Oh, that might not be true though. I don't think that's necessarily a second rate, but yeah. So we got a bunch of firepower ourselves, but they might have more firepower than we do. That's probably a second rate ship. So yeah, you look at that, it's probably, oh yeah, that's I'm not sure that's beatable. Because you look at the crew numbers. The way you can tell, like, I kind of find it weird because they had the better UI for Age of Sail. But you look at the number of units, the number of men on the ships, and you can tell by that. Not gonna fight it, just was curious. Anyway, Christian here, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications, and stay tuned for more. Hopefully, there will be a patch that fixes at least some of the most game-breaking issues.